I'm Review My RV, and every week we're throwing open the doors to the newest, most jaw-dropping motorhomes before they even hit the dealership lot. If it's fresh, innovative, and rev-ready, we're reviewing it. Let's dive in. Today we have something seriously awesome to talk about. If you love motorhomes, road trips, futuristic tech, or just jaw-dropping vehicles in general, then buckle up, because BYD is cooking up something that could very well change how we think about luxury travel on wheels. That's right, we're talking about the brand new 2026 BYD Ultra Luxury Motorhome, a next-generation RV that's about to take the world by storm. Now, you might know BYD is one of the fastest-growing names in electric vehicles globally, cars that blend practical smart design with eco-friendly power, and today they're bringing that innovation to the motorhome world like never before. So today, I want to walk you through everything we know so far. What it looks like, what's under the hood, how the interior feels, how it compares to what's come before, and whether it's worth all the buzz. Let's start with the first thing we all notice, the design. From the moment you lay eyes on the 2026 BYD Ultra, you get this sense that it isn't just another motorhome. It's sleek, modern, and futuristic, far from the boxy RV silhouettes that have dominated highways for decades. Rumor has it that BYD designers put extra love into aerodynamics, with smoother lines and large panoramic windows that give this thing a kind of flowing, elegant presence on the road, something that feels as at home on a coastal highway as it does cruising through a dusty forest trail. What's really cool about the design is how it bridges pure comfort with adventure readiness. The exterior doesn't shout, "Luxury palace on wheels," in a gaudy way. Instead, it whispers it in a classy tone. You're seeing thoughtful curves, integrated solar panel roofs, and rugged bumpers that hint this rig was built to explore as much as it was to relax. Plus, the panoramic glass not only looks amazing on camera, it actually floods the interior with natural light, making every view part of your living space. And speaking of living space, let's talk interior. If you've watched modern tiny home tours or luxury coach walkthroughs, you know that interior design can make or break the experience. And BYD isn't holding back here. Inside the Ultra you'll find premium materials throughout, soft touch surfaces, elegant lighting, and seating that feels more like your living room than a typical camper seat. We're talking heated and ventilated seats, ambient lighting with adaptive mood presets, and layouts you can configure to be a lounge, dining area, office, or all-out sleeping zone. This is that kind of flexible space that immediately makes you think, wait, this might become my favorite room in my house. What's really exciting is how smart the interior feels. Dual-zone infotainment screens, intuitive controls that manage everything from climate to entertainment, and even Wi-Fi connectivity and satellite navigation make this feel less like an RV and more like a mobile high-tech living room. If you've ever sat in the back of a motorhome fighting with switches and knobs, you'll appreciate how seamless this feels. And of course, BYD knows that a luxury RV has gotta feel like a home, not just be packed with tech. So they've added practical touches everywhere. Flexible storage built into panels, fold-out workspaces for anyone who wants to catch up on emails mid-trip, and a high-efficiency kitchen setup with induction cooking, smart refrigeration, and even water purification systems. Bathrooms are thoughtfully laid out too, modern, easy to clean, and perfectly sized for longer journeys. Now, let's zoom out from comfort and talk about what powers this thing, because that's where the Ultra begins to truly set itself apart. In the past, RVs have been synonymous with massive gas guzzlers and noisy engines. The 2026 BYD Ultra takes a completely different path, blending electric power with optional hybrid systems that make it not only friendlier to the planet, but also quieter, smoother, and surprisingly zippy for its size. Most configurations are expected to come with an all-electric drivetrain that can deliver robust range without putting a burden on fuel, while hybrid powertrain options offer that extra flexibility for remote road warriors who might not always have access to EV chargers. There are also talk of adaptive systems that help with off-road capabilities, meaning this thing isn't just for highways and RV parks. Think about handling rugged trails, dirt roads, and uneven terrain with selectable drive modes, mud, sand, snow, all this stuff that normally you'd associate with overlanding rigs. For folks who love going off-grid and exploring uncharted territory, that's huge. And because this is 2026, yes, you better believe there's some fancy battery tech in there. BYD's Blade battery, a standout for safety and longevity, powers many of the electric versions, aiming for a broad range between charging with the ability to cruise all day without constantly looking for plug-ins. Add rooftop solar panels and auxiliary energy systems, and suddenly this motorhome becomes its own little power ecosystem. Now, how about pricing? Because I know that's often the big question. Estimates right now place the BYD Ultra Luxury Motorhome in a pretty broad range depending on how you spec it out. Starting prices for base models are expected to hover around the low six figures, but once you climb into premium trims with off-grid packages and all the bells and whistles, you could be looking at the mid to high six figures. Something around $210,000 plus isn't out of the question for a fully equipped luxury edition. Now that might sound like a lot, but consider what you're getting here. Electric efficiency, high-end comfort, futuristic tech, hybrid flexibility, and a vehicle that's ready for both city cruising and wild adventure. You're essentially getting the equivalent of a wonderful home on wheels that's quieter, cleaner, and smarter than almost anything that's come before. But that brings up an important point. How does this compare to past BYD motorhome efforts? If you were into BYD's earlier camper variants, which were great in their own right with solid design and utility, the 2026 Ultra feels like a whole new chapter. Previous models were more conventional, smaller battery packs, less integrated smart living features, and more traditional RV design cues. The Ultra feels like the first BYD motorhome that truly steps up to the luxury travel lifestyle, not just a travel vehicle but a full-on mobile experience. Interior space feels more thoughtfully laid out, the tech integration feels higher end, and the electric hybrid powertrain combo is way more advanced than any earlier iteration. You're not just trading gas for electric, you're trading old-school RV limitations for a whole new way to explore. And that's the best part. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a reimagining of what a motorhome can be in 2026. Now, let's take a moment to imagine what owning one of these would actually feel like. Picture rolling out of your driveway on a Friday afternoon, sliding into an electric cruising mode that's whisper quiet, feeling the gaze of jealous neighbors as the panoramic roof catches the sunlight. You're wired for music, coffee in the induction mug warmer, and you've got navigation set for wherever the mood strikes you, whether that's a beach sunrise or a mountain sunset. Stop for dinner, or maybe you cook dinner inside, kitchen lights set to campfire mode, soft music playing through a premium sound system, and you're lounging in seats that feel like your own. Living room, you're online from the middle of nowhere, editing videos, working remotely, or streaming movies at night without worrying about a noisy generator. That's the kind of life this motorhome promises. But, and here's something I particularly love, it's not just about comfort or luxury. There's a freedom baked into this vehicle. Freedom to explore landscapes that would have felt out of reach for big rigs of the past. Freedom from noisy fossil fuel engines. Freedom to decide today where you want to wake up tomorrow. And that's the soul of RV life, right? So, is the 2026 BYD Ultra Luxury Motorhome perfect? Well, let's be real, no vehicle is ever perfect out of the gate. There'll always be updates, nuances, and trends we'll learn more about as we get closer to actual rollouts and test drives. But the promise here is massive. You've got smart tech, eco-friendly power, luxury comfort, rugged utility, and a design that finally makes a motorhome feel like a vehicle that fits the 2020s and beyond. It's the kind of thing you'd happily park on a starry mountain night or drive across continents without ever feeling like you're missing something. I'm honestly stoked to see more details, real-world tests, and perhaps even one of these parked right outside my own home. Because if this thing lives up to even half the hype, it could redefine what adventure means for thousands of us. Alright folks, that wraps up our deep dive into the 2026 BYD Ultra Luxury Motorhome. If you're as excited as I am about this, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments, where would your first road trip be if you owned one of these incredible machines? If you love seeing the absolute newest motorhome technology and design, you need to be part of the Review My RV family. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next big reveal. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the open road.